Peace and blessings, beautiful people. My name is Abriel, your resident herbalist, and welcome back to my channel, Beauty, Herbs, and Tea, where we talk about all things tea, herbs, and resources to help you start your herbal business right now. So I know you all read the title, so you already know what this video is going to be about. In this video, I am going to talk about how to start a business with no money or little money. Now, the reason why I'm doing this video is because, believe it or not, I get a lot of messages from people who message me and say, hey, I want to become an entrepreneur, I want to start a tea business, but I don't have any money, I can't afford your course, what do I do? And even though I price my courses extremely low compared to a lot of other people in other herbalism schools, it saddens me to know that people still can't even afford that. That just really lets me know the times we are living in. So I still want to help y'all. You don't have to take my course. Y'all know I give out tons and tons of free information. Again, I'm an empath, so I just want to see people win. I want to see y'all win and make money and be financially independent. So let's go ahead and get into this video. Now, before we get started, I do have a little confession, y'all, okay? A little confession. Now, in order to start a business, you will need some money to start off with. I know the title says how to start a business with no money, but the harsh reality is you will need a little bit of money to get you started out the gate. So in this video, I am going to give you the cheapest route to take, to start your business, okay? It's practically impossible to get things that you need to get in the beginning with $0. You will need some capital, but I am going to give you, again, the cheapest route to take. You only got $50 in your pocket. That's something. We can start with that. So the first thing you want to do is choose your business structure as a sole proprietorship. A sole proprietorship is a form of business structure that honestly costs the least amount of investment starting off. Generally, you don't have to do much for a sole proprietorship. You don't have to register it and pay extra fees on the back end. So this is typically the cheapest business structure to go off on. Now, when you start a sole proprietorship, again, you don't have to do anything to register yourself as a sole proprietor. You are automatically a sole proprietor starting off. You will need, however, some things to get started. So you may need a DBA, which stands for a doing business as. That is a registration of your business name with your state. You will also need an EIN, which is your employee identification number. An EIN is free. Your business registration name may vary depending on what state you're in. I know here in California, it was very cheap. I want to say it was like $30. Do not quote me on that. But it was relatively cheap. The EIN is free. You need an EIN number to start selling, to be a business. That's your business identification number. But yes, a DBA, an EIN, and also a seller's permit. Those licenses will get your foot in the door, and they cost the least amount compared to some of these other licensings and permits. So there may be more licensings and permits required, and you may not be able to get them right away, and that's okay. The truth is, if you're starting a business with no money, you probably will not be 100% compliant or have a 100% legal business because you don't have the money to have a 100% legal business. So just keep that in mind. The next thing you want to do is start saving. So remember I told you that you need money for your business? That is going to be honestly the best way that you can get extra capital in your business is to start saving. That's exactly what I did. So I was able to save a couple $1,000s for my business, and I did that by putting aside money from my paycheck every week, every few weeks. I put aside a couple $100s here or there until I felt like I had a sizable amount to start my business with. Now, if you do not have a job, you may want to consider getting a part-time job to be able to save money to start your business. I know that seems backwards, but honestly, it's a good option to consider if you don't have any money to invest anything. So say you don't even have money to get a DBA or to get a seller's permit or other licensings and permits. Honestly, that may be a good route for you to consider, is getting a little part-time job driving for Uber or walking dogs, whatever you have to do to build up at least a couple $100s. A couple $100s should get you started. The next thing you want to do is to create a startup cost spreadsheet. You do want to know how much it is going to take to start this business. I do talk about that in one of my other videos. I will make sure to link it somewhere up here, but I break down pretty much the cost of everything that it should take to start your business. I give you all actual examples of some things, some tools and supplies that you would need for your business, and I actually think I show you an example of my startup cost spreadsheet. So go ahead and click that video right up here and watch it, or up here. But that helps you plan out your business financially. That helps you know how much money overall that you need to save in your business. So remember, a couple $100s will get you started with licensings and permits, and then your startup cost spreadsheet will let you know everything else you will need in your business, and you can start working on saving that money. Okay, so the next thing to consider is to consider selling low cost or no cost items to start off with. So a low cost or no cost item could be drop shipping. You can sell handmade products eventually, but you can start off with a no cost item, an item that costs zero funds for you to get started and make some sales, and then you can funnel that money in and use that money to invest in your startup costs and start buying things for your business. So what I mean by a low cost or no cost item, let's start with a no cost item. That may be drop shipping. Now, if you don't know what drop shipping is, it is when somebody else has the product, they have a warehouse, and you create an account with them, and your customer buys an item from your website, and this other person ships everything for you. So you don't have to worry about inventory. You don't have to worry about buying the item first and selling it. They take care of everything on the back end. For example, a website that does this is called Printful or Printify. Those are all websites that do drop shipping for items. So maybe you can think about selling tea mugs. That's kind of in line with tea. If you want to sell tea, you can actually drop ship tea. And what you do is you go to one of these sites, Printify for example, you go to their site, you set up an account with them, and they have all the tea mugs and they will house it. People place an order and they will get your order, and they will ship everything out from their warehouse. So you don't have to worry about anything, honestly. The only thing you would have to worry about is designing your actual website. You may want to order some samples so you can take pictures of it, but even you can use their website to market your products. So that works because literally it takes zero startup costs for you. You don't have to buy inventory. You don't have to spend any money. They will take their fee from what the customer actually pays, so they'll get paid anyway. So I'll make sure to drop a few drop shipping sites down below in the description box below. But yes, that would be an example of a no cost item. Another example of a no cost item is a digital product. Literally, you can create a digital product and you can sell that, and that does not take any startup costs initially. Say you're a vegan and you make amazing vegan recipes, put it in a book, y'all. Put it in an ebook. Yes, ebooks are an amazing way to sell a digital product without any startup costs, and that can cost up to $0 for you to create if you do it on your own. Y'all, it's a gnat flying around me and it's getting on my nerves. I don't know if y'all can see it. I have had to stop so many times because this gnat is getting on my nerves. I left some fruit out and the gnats just came out of nowhere. But if you see me looking around, it's this darn gnat. Okay, so next let's talk about how to access additional capital for your business. So there are other options. I want to say this to the end, but there are other options to get additional capital for your business, but it is a little harder to get. So that's why I say this for the end. So one of those options is getting a business credit card. Getting a business credit card is a great way to be able to build your business credit, and you will get additional access access to additional funding as well. Just be careful with credit cards. I'm not a financial consultant, so I'm not an expert on how to use credit cards. So I'm not going to sit up here and give you a tutorial on that. Definitely make sure you do your own research before getting one, because it can be easy to get into debt, which is why I typically don't like to recommend that. However, if you are good with credit cards, if you're good with credit and paying things off, then that can be a route that you can consider. Another option is to consider a grant. Now, I was a little apprehensive about mentioning startup grants because they are extremely hard to get. Startup grants, again, they're hard to get. So they may have a lot of requirements that make you jump through all these hoops just to even qualify. Trust me, I have looked up some and I gave up honestly on a lot of them, but they are out there. So for example, a lot of grants that are out there, they may have a requirement that your business be in business for maybe a year or two to even qualify for a grant. Sometimes they may place sales requirements under their requirements. So for example, you have to make at least $20,000 in your business in the last quarter, which, you know, who does that? If you're a new business, you're not making $20,000. So they do place a lot of these outrageous requirements on those grants to make it hard. You can consider going to your local small business association. That's your local SBA. Your local SBA has so many resources for you when it comes to starting your business, and they may have startup grants for you as well. Another option to consider is a website called Hello Alice. I've used them before and they are great. They actually they will email you a list of grants for, I believe it's just for women's business. Do not quote me on that, okay? Do not quote me on that, but I believe it is for women who are in business, and they will send you emails with grant information every week, and you go on their site and they have a database of grants, including startup grants. So I will put that in the description box as well. That is Hello Alice. It is an amazing grant resource. So one last thing I want to mention is that in the beginning, if you don't have any money, if you do make any sales, make sure to funnel that back into the business. Don't go spending it. Don't go spending it if you made your first $100. You want to funnel that back into your business. So when you make some money, you want to take that and maybe buy some of these additional startup items that you will need to help you build up the things and the tools that you will need to start your business. So remember, funnel it back into your business, save money, whatever money you do get, so that it can go towards buying everything in the long run. So those are my tips that I suggest using if you are starting a business with no money or very, very little money. Comment down below which tip that you did like, as well as how much capital did you have when you first started off. Let's give each other some encouragement. Now, if you want to learn more about licensings and permits and how to create a startup cost spreadsheet and all the other things I mentioned in this video, make sure to sign up for my Herbal Business Assistant course. Enrollment is half full, y'all. We half full. So go ahead and click below so you can learn how to sign up, as well as learn about my tea blending course. As always, that is it, you all. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay blessed. And I'll see everybody in the next video. Bye.